Hi everyone, Lauren here again with the Dumb Friends League. We're on part 2 of how to meet a cat safely. And if you'll remember from my previous video, my cat Jack was a little less than excited about joining me and helping you guys know what to do. So for part 2 here, I want to talk a little bit about cat body language and the things that new cats are trying to tell us as to whether or not they're actually comfortable meeting us or if we should leave them alone. Now, like we talked about before, cats can't talk. So they can't say these things with their voices, they have to use their bodies. The problem we run into a lot of times is that we don't pay attention to that, and that's when we run the risk of getting bit or getting scratched and not being in a safe position. Just like when we don't want to be touched, if cats don't want to be touched, we have to respect that. So we're going to go through a little bit of information and then we're going to try and see if Jack is going to cooperate with me today, but I have a feeling he's probably not. Okay, so when we're looking at a cat's body language, we want to just start top of the head and work our way down to the tail. Cats, for the most part, are going to have their ears normally in an upright position like this. If a cat's ears are upright the way they normally are, that tells you that cat is generally pretty comfortable, and that's a great sign. If, however, a cat's ears are going to be flipped out to the side so they kind of look like airplane wings, or if they're tucked flat against the back of their head, or if they're pivoting a lot, that tells us that that cat is trying to focus on something or is anxious about something or is really scared. And if they start to do that when you're trying to approach them, you can bet that you're probably the reason that they're getting a little bit anxious. Best thing that you can do is leave them alone. Next thing we want to look for are their eyes. So a cat whose eyes have heavy lids, they look sort of like footballs, they look kind of like they're sitting there judging you the way that I'm doing right now. A judgy cat is a happy cat. A cat whose eyes are heavy like that, they are feeling really good, and they're probably in a good position to meet you. If, on the other hand, a cat's eyes go really wide the way that mine are right now, I look kind of freaked out, so does a cat. If a cat's eyes are that big, they're kind of freaked out, best thing you can do is leave them alone. Likewise, tension in their face is going to be a good indicator in addition to the eyes and the ears. So if you get stressed out or get frustrated, or if you get scared, your face is probably going to tense up just like that. Same thing with cats, so look for that as well. When it comes to their body, you want to look, and now they can be standing or sitting or laying down. That part doesn't matter. But if they're standing and they're comfortable and they're happy and they're excited to meet you, they're probably going to be in a fairly slinky body, and they're probably going to be coming towards you because they're interested in meeting you. If their back is arched and they're kind of crouched down, if their fur is puffed up, they're telling you they're not really interested and they're kind of scared. If a cat is sitting and they're sitting fairly statue-like and their tail is wrapped around their legs, that's a great sign that they're comfortable. If a cat is crouching down and looks like they might run away at any moment or that they might try and swipe at you, best to leave them alone. When it comes to a cat laying down, what you want to look for is a couple of different things. A happy, comfortable cat's going to typically be in one of two positions. First position is one that we like to call meatloaf position. And this is where the cat takes 4 paws, all 4 of them, tucks them underneath its body and then lays on top of them. The reason we know they're comfortable if they do this is because a cat's claws are their weapons. They've got 4 paws that have claws on them and they've got a mouth. So 5 weapons total. And if they're tucking 4 of those weapons under their body, they don't really feel a need to use them, tells us they're pretty comfortable. The other position of those two, we've got meatloaf, and now we're going to talk about is if they're flopped over on their side or if they're even on their back sometimes, if they're exposing their belly, that's a great sign that a cat is comfortable. Now, there is a catch to this. Even if the cat exposes their belly, it doesn't mean that it's safe for you to touch their belly, okay? So you still want to stick to trying to pet them only on the head if they give you the okay. If a cat's not comfortable and not feeling great about any of it, when they're laying down, they're going to be tucked in a little circle, hidden in a corner, possibly shaking, possibly with their fur puffed up. So you want to leave them alone in that position. Lastly, their tail. Their tail tells us a lot. Now, if we were to talk about dogs, you know that a dog with a happy, relaxed, loose, waggy tail, they're telling you that they're happy. Cats are just the opposite. So if a cat's tail is basically motionless, that's a really good sign. If they're walking or standing, we like to look for something we call the question mark tail. And that's where it looks like their tail is in the form of a question mark. It's mostly straight up with a little flip over at the top, and when they walk, it doesn't really move. That's a great sign that they're going to be comfortable or if it's wrapped around them. If a cat's tail is really puffed up, or if the tip of the tail is twitching, or if the tail is wagging violently, that tells us that that cat is not super comfortable. Okay, that's what we want to look for in a cat we're meeting for the first time. Now, I'm gonna go and try and see if Jack will let me pet him for you guys. He's probably not gonna exhibit a lot of those because he knows me. So even if he doesn't want to be pet, it doesn't mean that he's scared or he's anxious. It just means that he's not in the mood to get some attention from me. So we're gonna move over here and we're gonna see if Jack is going to cooperate with me today when he didn't the other day. So I'm gonna bring us into here, focus. Sophie's laying in the background. Hi, Jack. Hi, buddy. So I'm holding my hand out so he can sniff, and he just woke up. And he let me get a couple of little scratches. Now again, I tried to stick close to his head. He let me touch him this time, which is awesome, but he still had no interest. And I think, to be totally honest, that the camera is the thing that's freaking him out. So thank you guys for watching and listening. I hope you learned something a little bit new about how we can meet a new cat and stay safe in the process.